Sure, I would be honestly.
Wanted to censor people not to hear what we're dealing with. So I thought it's very important that we clarify that it was a technical mistake from our technical people. So, Honorable Lonzi, I am going to give to you now. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Minister, it's leadership to say that people of South Africa, we did this process and we realized that there were some mistakes or errors on the way. And as the department were now taking a decision to restart the process. That's leadership. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not making yourself to look bad. In fact, if anything, it demonstrates to the people of South Africa that you are a listening department, that when they say we don't agree, you are able to humble yourself and come and say, we have heard your cries and we apologize for how things happened. We are now restarting the process. But what is not leadership, Minister, is when you are restarting the process, but you are still insisting that there was nothing wrong with the process. There is absolutely no one, no rational person, no ordinary person, not a single person in South Africa that can buy that story. You can't say the process was beyond reproach. You can't say there was no flaws in the process. You can't say we complied with everything. There were no mistakes. There were no errors. The candidates were of perfect standards. The candidates were so perfect. Everything was proper, but we're restarting the process. Because the common sense question then will become, why are you restarting the process if there was nothing wrong with the process to begin with? Because you are the leadership of the department. You don't get forced by anyone. You can't be told by social media that this thing is wrong and then you decide to take instructions from social media. You have to do a personal self-review as the leadership of the department. Now, I want to ask again, Minister, and I hope this time you are going to demonstrate some level of humility, because we simply do not buy the argument that you are saying there was totally nothing wrong with the process. In fact, your DDG on CETA coordination even says the process was perfect, which means it was 100%. Now, why are you restarting the process if the process was perfect? Why can't you show leadership and humility and say, people of South Africa, this process was not perfect. And because we have heard your cries, we are now going to restart the process. We are now going to make sure that the children of ministers and politicians are not given priority over the people of South Africa. We are going to make sure that these sitters are not captured by the ANC. We are going to make sure that these sitters are not given to politicians to loot them. That's leadership. It's not weakness. It's showing humility that I'm a listening minister. I'm not an arrogant minister. So, very quickly, Minister, and if you insist, it's fine. I'll move on to my next question because I don't have time. I wonder if you want to reconsider your attitude of saying the process was perfect. Because if the process was perfect, you were not going to restart the process. Over to you, Minister.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lonzi, for your question. I'm not going to say the process had flaws, because where am I going to base that argument from? The process was run by a credible and reputable independent panel that I believe they overlooked the part that is concerning, is overlooking demographics, of which the letter that came through you, Chairperson, was also raising that from Honorable Kakao to say we need to consider this item.
No, thanks, Minister.
Oh,
I've received your response, because I don't want us to be here the whole day. You are insisting on saying the process was perfect. But at the same time, you are saying the independent panel overlooked certain areas in the process, which means the process was not perfect. Or is my definition of perfect not correct? Maybe Honorable Van der Walt from the DA can assist. What is the definition of perfect? Because you can't say the process was perfect and then you say but.
Honorable Van der Walt speaks Afrikaans, so
She may be challenged. But let's move on, Minister, because I see you are not folding on this one. I'll allow the people of South Africa to be the judge of that. Now, we've got a big problem here, Minister. There is an independent panel that you have appointed. And this independent panel takes big decisions in the ministry. You have even said to us this independent panel assisted you to appoint people into the NSFAS board. A very important institution in South Africa.
Yeah.
It may even assist you to make ministerial deployments to councils, university councils, to TVET colleges. And now this panel is the one that brought you before this committee. Why? Because this panel recommended these names to you that you have withdrawn. Now, I've got a problem when you say you cannot give us the names of these panelists. It's a shadow government. We don't know who. There are people who are taking very serious decisions on behalf of the ministry, on behalf of the department, and clearly you as a minister, you take these people very seriously because you listen to their recommendations. But you're saying, I can't give you the names of these people. Who are these people? Why must they not be told to the people of South Africa? We need to know who are they. What if they are your friends? What if they are your family members? What if these people even themselves are of questionable character? Because this is a public institution. It's not a private company. If you're running a private company, maybe we would have accepted your explanation that I can't give you the names of these panelists. You are running a public institution. WES, higher education, which deals with day-to-day issues affecting students, affecting young people. You are saying to us, you have a secret panel. We're not asking you to give us their locations. We're not asking you to give us their address. We're not asking you to give us their phone numbers. We want the profile of who are these panelists that are recommending names to our minister. And the minister clearly takes these people seriously because we've got an NSFAS board because of this independent panel, secret panel. We have sitter appointments because of this secret panel. Council deployments to institutions and TVET colleges are going to be made because of this secret panel. So I ask again, Minister, what are the names of these panelists who are advising you to make very critical appointments in institutions of higher learning, in government, in the SETAs, in NSFAS? We want to know who they are because they could be your friends.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lonzi, for your questions. I think we need to understand governance. Governance 101, how institutions work. There are advisory bodies in each and every governance system, be it a department. If you can go around and look around from those various departments, there are advisory bodies that advise the minister on certain issues.
Sorry,
no,
Minister.
I listen to you. You must also listen to me when I'm responding to questions.
Through you, Chairperson.
Yeah, Honorable Kaka.
Chairperson, I understand that it's not nice to be put in a spot, right? And I understand that the nature of this conversation, because it's personal, is heated and uncomfortable. But that can never justify there being a firing of attitude and a disrespect altogether to members that question. The minute you say yes, conscientiously, you say each and every decision that I take is open for scrutiny. And that is the spirit that the minister is supposed to have in answering questions about the decisions that she makes while under the payroll of the Republic of South Africa.
No, thank you, Minister. I think our members have got a pressure of time. So if they feel like the questions that they have asked is not being responded to or were taking long to respond, they may interject. And we must try by all means not to have, what do you call it, dialogue amongst ourselves. So maybe let's try and be patient with one another, listen to one another, but let's take cognizance to the fact that members may be under pressure because of the time constraint that we have. So if they ask or look, it's okay, maybe you are not going to my answer, let's not take it as a disrespect and then fight with them. I think let's, as much as I've got a responsibility to protect you as our invitees to the meeting, I also have a responsibility to protect these members from being attacked. I think, so let's try and work it that way. Honorable Lonzi.
Chair, I don't know why the minister is telling me about advisory councils. There's no one in South Africa who doesn't know that there are advisory bodies. Even the presidency has gotten advisory bodies. But if the advisory body of the president takes that advisory body so serious that it even tells him who must be a judge in South Africa, who must be a minister in South Africa, who must be a commissioner in South Africa, then the people of South Africa deserve to know who are these advisors to the minister. The minister can't say to us, he can't tell, I know that the advisors can't say, let's know the law, the advisor. I know the advisor, that's not my question. My question is, who are these advisors to the minister that the minister listens to and takes so seriously that she takes very big and critical decisions in the department? Why is the minister refusing to tell us? Who are these advisors that are advising you, minister? Who are the names? Who are the profiles of this independent panel that you take so seriously, that told you who to put in the sitters, that told you who to put in the NSFAS board, that tells you who to put as university council deployees? Who are your advisors? Is it your mother? Is it your sister? Is it your friend? Is it a boyfriend? Is it a girlfriend? The people of South Africa must know, where are decisions of higher education taken? You find that a decision is taken in a tavern, we don't know. Because clearly these advisors are more important than all of these officials of Department of Higher Education which are sitting here. Why can't you say, no, the DG advises me? No, the DDG advises me. There is a group, there is a clique in higher education that advises the minister, yet the minister does not want to tell us who these advisors are. So because of time, I'm asking you a yes or no question. And I'm going to follow up on this, you can rest assured. And we're going to get the names of those advisors. I just want, at least on record, to get an understanding from you so that I can move on to the next question. Are you willing to tell us who are these people that advise you to make appointments to sitters, to make appointments in NSFAS, to make appointments to universities, to make appointments in TVET colleges? Yes or no? So that I can move on to the next question. Thank you, Minister.
I think we need to understand that even with the system of the judges in South Africa, they do have assessors, private assessors who
Chairperson.
Listen, I'm still responding to the question. I'm not going to respond to yes or no. I'm not in court.
No, this is not a court.
I'm not in court. I'm not going to respond to yes or no.
Chairperson, you advised the minister on the issue of time.
Yeah.
I simply want to understand if the minister is willing to tell us the panel. If she's not willing to, she must say, I don't want to tell you who advises me. And then I've got a mechanism to find out who advises her. And I'm going to find out who's advising her. But I don't want her to waste my time by giving me a preamble of South African law that I know, by the way. I'm a lawmaker. I'm here. I write laws. Can't tell me about laws. I'm asking the minister a simple question. I don't have time, Chair. Is the minister willing to tell the people of South Africa? Is the minister willing to tell this committee? Is the minister willing to be open, transparent, and accountable and tell us who advises her to make deployments to NSFAS, to make deployments to sitters, to make deployment in institutions of higher learning? If she's not willing, she can just say, I'm not willing. So that I can move on to the next question, Chairperson. I'm asking you now, Chair, not the minister. Please, can you assist in this process?
Yeah, I opened my mic to assist and you went on. And you know, when I stop you, Man, I've got police outside, so. No, it's okay. It was on a lighter note. Colleagues, I did say that let's try and find ways of asking and answering questions so that we are able to get to the bottom of what is the problem. But if we are combative in answering and defensive in answering, we're not going to get anywhere. I think Minister, when the member says maybe yes or no, it's not necessarily out of disrespect. Like he said, it's because of time. Whether you are willing to give the list to him now, and then you say no because you have already answered that question that I'm not going to give you because the powers to appoint falls under me as per the section 11 subsection 1 of the Skills Development Act. So it would not have been wrong to say no, I'm not willing to give, so that he moves on to the next question, because that part, I think it was asked by Honorable Maseko, you clarified. It was asked by Honorable Msanzana, you clarified. So he says, don't clarify, just give me a yes or no. So I don't think it's a fair question. It's an unfair question to say yes or no as he had asked. So let's try and be direct on this one, Minister. Thanks. Whose phone is that?
So it is not compulsory for me to disclose the independent assessor, the independent panel that is assisting the minister. I'll first find out from them, get consent, if they are happy that I disclose their names. I cannot just come here and disclose information. I need to comply with the relevant legislation. I'm not going to respond to yes or no, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an ambulance. I think I'm happy with the answer what you say, because earlier on you had indicated that these people, you are not paying them. So, and therefore, you may need to get their consent on whether to make their names public. That answer, I think, it's fair to say, because I don't have. If we were paying them through the state, then I would say, then you don't need that consent. But you are not; they are voluntary. So I take the answer that says that I won't be. I'm not at liberty to disclose now. I'll get a consent and come back. So at the end, Honorable Lonzi will get when we close the meeting or we make the summary. We'll then agree on timelines. Even on this particular one. Continue, Honorable Lonzi.
No, thank you. I don't take that response from the minister. And like I said, I will make sure that we get those names. Because even if we're not paying these people are exercising public power. Because they've got influence on the minister. They advise the minister who to appoint in NSFAS, who to appoint in CITAS. They advise the minister how public money is spent. And clearly the minister takes them very seriously, because she says to us, I listen to this independent panel. So we're going to follow up on that, but in the interest of time, we'll quickly move on. TDG on my second last question, on coordinating of CITAS, so that I can give the minister time to drink water. Now, are you aware, and let's try to do this one quickly, TDG. Are you aware that there was a CEO of Facet CETA that was suspended in December, that was undergoing a hearing or a DC of some sort? It's just a yes or no?
Yes, I'm aware.
Is the hearing or the DC completed?
I'm not aware.
You are the DDG that coordinates CITAS. You are not aware that a CEO is suspended, and you are not aware that the DC or the hearing has been completed? Really?
Chairperson, can I respond to that? I'm aware that the CEO was suspended. I'm also aware that he was irregularly suspended. The SETA CEOs are appointed by the minister, and so the suspensions must be approved by the minister.
Just to come in here, you said to me you are aware that the person is suspended. You are aware that there was a DC. Now, how do you determine that the suspension is irregular if you have not allowed the process to conclude? Because you can't.
Hold on, Honorable Lonzi. Okay. Please, let's not disrupt our meeting.
Differently. Did you write to the entity and say, we believe that this suspension is irregular, therefore we're setting it aside?
Yes.
What process did you then follow as a department to establish whether or not this suspension was irregular, if you are not aware that the DC is complete or not complete?
Through you, Chairperson, can I be allowed to clarify the process, how it unfolded? We are aware that the CEO has been suspended. We processed the issue of suspension. The department was notified about the CEO's suspension, but the notification was not in compliance with the legislation, because procedurally, since the CEOs are appointed by the minister, there is no accounting authority that has the power to suspend the CEO without the minister's consultation, concurrence, or approval. So in this case, the minister was notified the same day the CEO was suspended. That it did not afford the minister the space and time to apply her mind with regards to the matter. As a result, this suspension, we found it to be irregular in terms of procedural matters. The matter has not even gone to the issues of the merits. The procedure that was followed was irregular.
All right, no, thank you, TDG. When did you discover that the process is irregular, and when did you write to the entity?
I can establish the records for you and respond if you can give me a minute.
All right. In closing, Minister, I really believe that it is very unfortunate that you are not willing to humble yourself on this matter. Because SETAs in South Africa now know they don't have boards. They don't have accounting authorities, rather. They don't have chairs of boards. But you are unwilling to say, South Africa, yes, we may have gotten certain things right, but certain things were overlooked. We apologize, therefore we're restarting the process. You are still arrogantly saying the process was perfect. The process was above, beyond reproach. We complied with everything. If the process was perfect, why are you restarting it? Why are you restarting the process? It was perfect. Let's bring Guatemal's son back. Let him chair the SETA. Let's bring ANC comrades. Let them chair. The process was perfect. They are qualified.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's very unfortunate of you, Minister. I'm closing, Chair.
Yeah.
That you are not willing to humble yourself before the people of South Africa and say, I made a mistake, therefore I'm restarting the process. My last question, and then I won't come back. Again, please don't run around this question. It's a very straightforward question. Did President Cyril Ramaphosa say to you, after seeing the outcry, after seeing the objections, did he come to you and say, Minister, you must restart this process, yes or no?
It's not that he said, Minister, restart the process. We had to analyze the outcomes after presenting before the NSA, the report, And then I brought to the attention of the president that there is a letter that has been written to.
His child.
No, your time has long finished.
I just want to know.
I can't just.
No.
I'm speaking.
Okay,
to
don't-
the
she
people of South
doesn't have
Africa.
to
Must
say
give
yes
them
or no.
Context. I can't say yes or no.
I just need
Honestly,
to
I'm
know.
not going to respond
I
to yes or no.
just need to know.
As if I'm
Honorable
responding
Lonzi.
to true or false, as if I'm a child
Yeah,
who
that's,
did not,
I've
who is a
asked you-
dropout at the university. I'm not.
Don't
I
lose
cannot speak
don't
about
lose your
true
cool,
or false
Minister.
here.
Don't lose your cool. I'm used
It's
to
fine.
people like
Honorable
that.
Lonzi, it's fine.
This is my last question, and I'm giving over the thing.
No, Honorable Lonzi, it's fine. The alarm long rang.
But Chair, she
And
has
I
not
gave you-
answered my question.
I gave you no. Even that was grace. No, even that was grace, and now you guys are abusing my grace, Honorable Governor.
Sure, I would, Your Honorship.